How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody? Marco here, and I am back with another rookie profile. And today I am breaking down one of my favorites in this class, George Pickens, and he is a hotly talked about wide receiver. A lot of people have him, at the bottom of their top 10. I have him quite a bit higher. I've got him, spoiler alert, as my wide receiver 3 in this class. But let's jump into George Pickens. There's a lot to like with George Pickens, but there is things that you have to know. I mean, there's reasons why people have him in the bottom of their top 10 in this class. But let's start with what he has done. And so let's look at his 2021 college stats. He only had 4 receptions for 55 yards, 0 touchdowns. He is one of those guys who has had injury concerns. Of course, in the NFL, there's a lot of guys who have injury concerns, but at the wide receiver position, it's something that you have to look at coming out of college into the NFL. And Pickens, his wiry frame is something that lends to injury concerns, and it's one of the things that is kind of the biggest knock against him right now. His breakout age, as you can see, was in the 97th percentile, 18 and a half years old. And I mean, he's one of the guys who, when he is on the field, he shows you what he can do, and that's pretty much everything. Let's talk about some of his strengths and weaknesses. So he's 6'3", 201. He turns 21 next month. He's really a great athlete. He's got impressive body control. He can run the entire route tree with the caveat of this isn't really the best part of his game, his route running, but he can do it all when it comes to the entire route tree, which kind of helps him if he can put on a little extra weight profile as a true X or alpha wide receiver at the NFL level. He's phenomenal at tracking the ball in the air, and he's not afraid to go ahead and use his hands to pluck the ball out of the air. He's not really a body catcher. He can catch the ball well with his hands, so his hands are definitely a strength to his game. He's really has a great combination of quickness and speed to his game. It's a little bit more long speed, but it's something that has helped him kind of take the top off of defenses. Like I said earlier, he's not afraid to pluck the ball out of the air. He's phenomenal when it comes to his contested catch game. That's one of the things that he thrived in when it comes to what he was able to do in Georgia when he was on the field. He could definitely thrive as a deep threat in the NFL, if not more. Like we said earlier when we were talking about weaknesses, his wiry frame is going to lead to questions. Can he hold up at the next level? Can he hold up against NFL defenders? And the other thing for him is he's not as versatile as a lot of the other top guys in this class, where versatility has been a big thing, especially looking at this class. There's a lot of guys who are a little bit more versatile. A guy who I'm breaking down in another video for you guys this week, when John Mechie, he's another guy who's got a lot of versatility. And George Pickens doesn't have that kind of aspect to his game. He's not really that versatile of a player at this point in his career and what he's shown. He's not really a guy who's going to be able to do it in the slot. But when I look at what his game does bring, he reminds me of an NFL wide receiver who has thrived quietly in the NFL. And I say quietly because it's been a minute since he's been at the top of his game. But he's also not a wide receiver to run his mouth, which is rare. It's A.J. Green, if you haven't guessed. And I think his game really is very similar to A.J. Green. He's got that long speed. His route running is very good. It's not elite, but he could definitely improve in that area of the game. And what A.J. Green does, or did do in the NFL, I should say, before he kind of reached the age cliff he's reached, is very reminiscent of what we can see from a George Pickens. I like what they both could bring to the game. And I think really when I look at George Pickens, sure, A.J. Green might be his ceiling, and we don't want to expect players' ceilings when we're profiling or breaking them down coming out of college. But George Pickens is a guy who every single time he steps onto the field, he has shown us why he should be a top-rated wide receiver in this class. Like I said, he is my wide receiver 3 in this class. He is a guy who you are probably going to be able to get at the end of round 1 in your rookie drafts, maybe early round 2, depending on your format. And he is going to probably be a steal at that price. So I am all in on George Pickens. Justin, I think, has him as his wide receiver 6 in the class. So even Justin isn't super low on George Pickens. I think we both see the potential with this guy. And like we said, if he can put on a little extra weight, kind of shake some of the early injury concerns that people have been having with him, he could be one of the biggest risers in a lot of people's rookie ranks at the wide receiver position. If you guys have any thoughts or questions, drop them below. Make sure to subscribe to our Patreon, Patreon at 14 or patreon.com/14p, or you can follow me at Twitter at Marco_14p. And of course, subscribe to the channel that you're watching this on right now. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.